So for today, we are going to be looking at solving division number stories. So our objective is I can solve division number stories and understand remainders. Your assignments for today are going to be to play division array on the Everyday Math website, and then you have a home link that you will complete on Kami. So just like we have been practicing with our number stories, we're going to continue using cubes to help us to understand the problem and go through the steps in solving them. So I'm going to read the problem, go through the steps, and then come up with my answer. So you have 16 stickers to share equally among yourself and a friend. How many stickers will you each get? So as I'm going through the steps, I'm going to circle my numbers, and I see the number 16, and that's all that I see. Then I'm going to underline the question. How many stickers will you each get? Box in the keywords. I see share equally, and I'm looking at how many will you each get. This share equally is a huge sign to tell me that I'm going to be dividing. So thinking about evaluating it, I know I'm going to divide, and I still need to have some other numbers because all I have is 16 stickers, and so I don't know how many I'm sharing those stickers between. So when I reread it, I can see that I am sharing it equally with myself and a friend. So I'm one, and then they're the other one. So I would have 2 be my other answer. So I'm going to think about drawing my picture. And since I have 2 people, myself and my friend, I am going to draw my 2 circles, and then I have to share equally or divide them equally between those 2 people. So I have 16. I'm going to count 1 in each until I get to 16. So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And when I go through and I look at it, I can see that there are 8 in my section, and then 8 in what I would give to my friend. So I've evaluated it. My answer is 8. I do want to write a number sentence to match this and have a unit with my answer. So my number sentence for the problem, what I actually did was I did 16, and then I divided it by 2 people to get 8 stickers. So my answer is 8 stickers. All right, my next one. You have a string that is 40 centimeters long, and you cut it into pieces 10 centimeters long. How many pieces do you have? So I can see my number 40 and 10. My question is, how many pieces do you have? My action words are, let's see, I'm going to cut them. And I'm cutting them into 10 centimeter pieces. There's not really too much more that I know, that I have as a math word. So that's going to be all. Evaluate, eliminate. I don't need to get rid of any information, but I do need to figure out what's going on here. So I'm going to draw I'm going to draw my string and kind of think of it as a number line. This is 0 and this is 40. And it says that I cut it into 10 centimeter long pieces. So I'm going to pretend that this is 10 centimeters. And then if I cut another 10 centimeters, it'll be 20. If I cut another 10 centimeters, it'll be 30. And then if I have what's left is another 10, that is 40. So from 0 to 10, I know is 10. 10 to 20 is 10. 20 to 30 is 10. and then 30 to 40 is 10. I know my answer is how many pieces do I have? And so I'm looking for how many 10 centimeter pieces I have. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So what I need to do to write my number sentence, I have to use what I knew from the problem and what I did to solve this. So I had 40 centimeters and I divided it, or I split them equally into 10 centimeter long pieces. And when I did that, I found out I have 1, 2, 3, 4 pieces. So how many pieces? 4 pieces is my unit. So my answer is 4 pieces. All right, so for this problem, my number story says 4 friends share 6 granola bars, equally share 6 granola bars. How many granola bars will each friend get? So I'm still going to go through cubes, and I'm going to circle 4 and 6. And I'm going to underline my question, how many granola bars will each friend get? And then I'm going to think about boxing my keywords in, and I see equally share, and then I see each. From here, I need to evaluate it. So I know that I have 4 friends, so I could draw my 4 friends down here. And I'm sharing 6 granola bars equally. So I'm going to count them out, and I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But when I get here, I've shared my granola bars equally, or I've shared my granola bars, but they are not shared equally because this person has 2, this one has 2, and this one has 1, and they have 1. So they are not shared equally. So I'm going to need to think about how I can solve this in a different way. So I'm going to get rid of this picture down here at the bottom, and I'm going to go back to my thinking. And I know that, again, I have 4 friends, and I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. They each get 1, but then I'm left with 2 granola bars. And so I have to think about how can I split this granola bar, because I can cut these granola bars into pieces, and then they're each going to get an equal amount. So when I think about this, I have 2 granola bars, but I have to do it equally. If I split this one in half and this one in half, then I know that there's 1, 2, 3, 4 half pieces. And so each of my friends will get a half. So I'm going to say here they will get a half. This person will get a half. This person will get a half. And then the 4th person will get a half. Each person got 1 whole granola bar and then half of a granola bar. So my number sentence, what I did was I divided the 6 granola bars. So I'm going to start with 6 divided by 4, and that equals 1 and a half granola bars. So each friend will get 1 and a half granola bars. So this was the way that I split it. You could have looked at it a little bit differently. And this was a picture that was drawn. And you can see that the one girl got 1. 1 went here. The second granola bar went here. The third granola bar went here. The 4th granola bar went here. And then they divided the granola bars in 2 halves. So this piece went to the first girl. This piece went to the second boy, third girl, and then 4th boy. So they each got 1 and a half. All right, so for our next problem, we are going to have the same numbers as before, only this time we are splitting pennies. So going through cubes, I have 4 friends, and they equally share 6 pennies. How many pennies will each friend get? My keywords are equally share, and then we're equally sharing between each friend. So that tells me I'm going to have division. When I do this, I know that I want to have 4 boxes for my friends. And I need 6 pennies, so I'm going to draw 6 pennies. And I want to equally share, so I want each person to get the same amount. So I'm going to put 1 penny here, 1 penny here, 1 penny, and then another penny. But I'm left with the 2 left over. Now remember, with the granola bars, I was able to split those in half. With pennies, I can't cut a penny in half to be able to split it equally. So what we say with that is each person has 1 penny, but there is 2 left over. We call those 2 left over a remainder. So a remainder means something that's left over. Now, I still want to be able to write my number sentence, so I'm going to say 6 pennies divided by 4 friends, and they each got 1 penny. So 6 divided by 4. I'm not going to put equals. I'm going to use an arrow sign, and kind of it's saying like 6 divided by 4 points to 1, but then there's a remainder. So I'm going to use an R for remainder, and I have 2 left over. So it's a remainder of 2. When I look at this problem, I know that with the granola bars, I could have divided the remaining granola bars by splitting them. We know that we can split granola bars in half. But with pennies, we can't split them. So when we write that number sentence, 6 divided by 4 goes into it 1 with a remainder of 2. We use the arrow sign instead of an equal sign when there's a remainder. The arrow is read as leads to, gives, or results in. So I would say 6 divided by 4 leads to 1 remainder 2. Or 6 divided by 4 gives 1 remainder 2. 6 divided by 4 results in 1 remainder 2. We're going to do some more practice with these sharing equalies with remainders. So my next one, I have 3 pennies, or 3 children, and they share 13 pennies. How many pennies will each child get? So I know that I have 3 children, and I have 13 pennies. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And I'm going to share these equally because that's what it says. It says to share, and we know it needs to be equally when I'm dividing. So this one's going to go 1. So I've done 3 pennies, 4, 5, 6. This one's going to go 7, 8, 9. Going to go again. My lines are getting kind of messed up. 10, 11, 12. So when I get done with this, I still have this 1 penny right here left over. But I can't give it to this person because then they wouldn't be equal. So what I'm left with is they each have 4. Each person gets 4, and there's 1 left over. So when I write my number sentence, I'm going to have the dividend, the number that I'm dividing by. 13 divided, this is called the divisor. So I divided it by 3 people. My quotient is going to be the answer. And so remember, it has the arrow. So results in 4 pennies, and then there's a remainder of 1. So we read this number sentence. 13 divided by 3 leads to 4 remainder 1. All right, so now I have my next problem. 21 candles are arranged with 3 in each row. How many rows are there? How many candles left over? This problem has 2 questions. How many rows are there? How many are left over? When I look in here, I can see each, and this word left over could be a clue. When I think about leftover, sometimes I think about subtraction. Division can be thought of as equal subtractions. So we're going to look at this, and we are going to be doing division. Part of why I picked division over subtraction is the word each is one of those words that can help me. Now it says that they're arranged with 3 in each row. So I'm going to think about making 3 groups of 3 and see how many rows there are. So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So I had equal rows of 3. So now I need to know how many rows I created. So I'm going to draw a line between each of these. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 rows of 3. My number sentence becomes 21 divided by 3 equals 7, and then my unit is rows. 7 rows. All right, let's do another one. Each player is dealt 4 cards. There are 18 cards in all. How many players are there? How many cards are left over? So 4 cards and then 18 cards. Again, I have 2 questions. How many players are there? How many cards are left over? I'm going to box in the keywords. So maybe this word dealt means to be given. I see this word in all. In all tells me like a total, how many is there? So it's not asking me how many there are in all. It tells me that there are 18 in all. And each player is dealt 4 cards, so it means they're given 4 cards. So I'm looking for the number of players. So those are going to be my people. I'm going to draw one person and they get 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to draw another person and they get 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That is 4 plus 4 is 8. 9, 10, 11, 12. Remember, I have 18. 13, 14, 15. 16. 17, 18. Now, I'm looking to see how many players got 4 cards. So here's 1, here's 2, 3, and 4. This person didn't get 4 cards, so what we have is a remainder of 2. So this is going to be my remainder. So my question says, how many players are there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4 players. How many cards are left over? That is 2. My number sentence for this is going to be 18. I start with how many I have, divided by groups of 4, and that equals, actually it doesn't equal it, it leads to, or it results in, so I'm going to do my arrow, 4 people with a remainder of 2. Okay, thinking about markers this time. 18 markers shared equally among 6 children. How many markers does each child get? That's one question. How many markers are left over? That's my second question. This one has that really important keyword, shared equally, and then the word each. it tells me I'm going to divide. So it says 18 markers are shared equally among 6 children. Well, this time I know how many children there are, so I'm going to draw 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there's 18 that I have to share equally, so I'm going to do it one at a time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. All right, so now that I have my 6 children represented by the 6 circles, I am going to take my 18 markers and split them equally. So I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. When I do this and split it equally, each child gets 3 markers, and then I didn't have any left over. I was able to split them equally. So answering my questions, how many markers does each child get? Well, they each get 3. How many markers are left? 0. There are no markers left. My number sentence becomes 18 divided by 6 equals 3, and my unit is markers.